Alright, it's Sunday night, True Blood, Season 5, Episode 7, In the Beginning. And what's going down? Roman is dead. Yes, thank you. No more crazy long speeches about religion, although that seems to be Salome's job now. And no more tight Nike shirts. Thank you for killing him. Alright. Just as Russell's about to get all fangy on everybody after his killing of Roman, he gets caught by the guards who trap him in a silver net. Awesome. Somehow Eric ends up on a pole with some bar around his neck too. So, that's what went down at the end of that one. Next, Sookie. Sookie was blasted by fairies last time we saw her. Now she wakes up on this little, I guess Jason's watching it too, on this couch where Claude and some other fairy are passing light through her to see if it goes to the end, because that tells them how much she's depleted in her fairy magic. And she does wake up and they tell her, look, you know, you're only half fae. Wrong! She's 1/8 fae, my friends, because, as I will go through her lineage again, Niall, Prince of the Fairies, is the top fairy, full fairy. He had half fairies. Fintan and Dermot are his sons. They're half fairies. And Fintan had relations with Sookie's grandmother and created quarter fairies, her dad and her Aunt Linda. And her dad and his wife created Sookie and Jason. They are 1/8 fairy, not half. I'm going to be picky because guess what? I get to, because I read the book. So anyway, apparently you can lose your fairy magic and become human again. What? I didn't know. I've never heard of this. So Sookie's contemplating getting rid of her fairy magic in order to become human. Interesting. Andy gets questioned after the crossbow slaying of the guy who owns the weapons store, and he's not questioned very well either. But meanwhile, Sam goes off sniffing throughout the store and finds a box full of Obama masks, and then rolls around on the ground and says, there's 5 or 6 of them. I can smell them, I can smell them. Sam and his smelling is just hilarious. People are like watching and going, is there something we should know about you, Sam? Yeah, he's a two-natured kind of dude. You might need to know that. Alright, Hoyt got rescued by the Obama truck last time, apparently. Rescued is a loose term, as he was not in any real danger except his own stupidity. So Hoyt feels at peace with this hate group. He hates Jessica, feels more acceptance with the hate group than he's ever felt before, and they say something hilarious like, well, you know, if it was called a love group, no one would join. The writing tonight was hilarious. There were some one-liners that just cracked me up. Not since the New York line have I laughed so hard. Bill and Eric get caged up after the Russell experience, and Molly's trying to figure out what happened to his eye steak. Duh, Salome did something to it. That's obvious. Eric is mad with Nora. He wants nothing to do with her and basically disowns her. Russell and Eric go back and forth about how Eric killed Talbot, but Russell killed all of Eric's family, so now we're even. Let's be friends. Eric's not too into that. That's Russell's thing. Russell's decided he's born again. Oh my goodness, Russell is such a liar. He walks around with his fake pretending love of Lilith that just like makes me laugh so hard. Salome admits she dug him up, and she followed Eric and Bill that night because she wanted Russell to take out Roman. And they're like, why didn't you just do it? But I guess someone else with blood on their hands is better. Salome says she wants to share the power that she now has with everyone, and her belief in Lilith. Gag. And Russell is so faking it, it's hilarious. He's like, I believe I'm born again. Back to Alcide, he's training to fight JD for the ultimate werewolf showdown of who will be pack leader, and just happens to have a little romantic love going on for his trainer. Martha walks in, And she's like, I don't think you're training. And Elsie is like, whatever, what do you want, Martha? And she's all like, Jay, you lied. JD's not taking me. He swore on my son's grave. And Alcide had a great one-liner. Martha, I hate to break this to you, but your son doesn't have a grave because you all ate him. Yeah, you did. He doesn't have a grave. So bang. So Emma shows up and in her puppy form, and Martha leaves. Arlene, boring story, watching her wedding video, and Holly's all like, I don't think Terry's crazy. You should totally believe in him. Snooze, fall asleep, move on. Jason is taking care of Sookie. It's really quite cute as they talk over their parents, and he tells her, you know, I don't blame you, even though it was your Band-Aid, like, 'cause all those years you didn't blame me for our parents' death. And Sookie's more like not even thinking about that. She's more like, I can be human. I'm scared of this space stuff and be human. Andy goes to Bud Dearborn's house, the old sheriff, and he's not very much help. Andy's trying to get some advice. Bud's not into it. He's got a lady friend over and he doesn't want anything to do with Andy. And he says, I don't remember telling you when I retired. You could just come over to my house unannounced and ask me for advice. Thanks, Bud. You're awesome. I think Bud might be the dragon. Putting it out there. Because the Obama crew was all phoning the dragon. He's their leader. I think Bud might be the dragon. Why else bring Bud back? That was kind of weird. Why? Anyway, that's my theory on that. Lafayette, still searching for the Demon Man, the old dude who made Jesus drink the dead goat's, his pet's blood. Bad man. He goes to the guy's house and finds Jesus' head sitting on a blue chair shaped like a hand. Nice. Sweet, tacky furniture always adds to the gory head-chopping goodness. And he's mad at Lafayette because he says, Jesus gave you the power. You don't deserve the gift. It belongs to me. Lafayette's in for some trouble now. Meanwhile, Sookie has a little heart-to-heart with Sam at the hospital when he's visiting Luna and asks him, Sam, if you had the chance to give away your weird supernaturalness and be normal, would you? He's like, no, it's like a part of me. And Sookie's like, Could Sookie be thinking of giving away her fae? Duh! She is. Watch out. Tara is working the pole at Fantasia. Apparently she's now a dancer, and her crazy mom comes in to tell her that she's dead to her. Good riddance, crazy Tara mom, because Tara's pretty much been taking care of your loser self for quite some time. I don't think that is a very bad situation. Later, Tara's mom. Eric and Bill. This scene was hilarious. So, Salome declares Russell forgiven from the Book of Lilith, and basically tells everybody we're going to be drinking Lilith's blood, which is what they've been worshiping in that thing. I don't get it. Why was Roman worshiping it earlier? What? So there's some things that don't make sense in this storyline, but that's one of them. So the guy with the beard, he starts getting up. I don't know his name, but he's one of the Guardian dudes. He gets up and he's like, this is blasphemy. We shall not do it. And he doesn't even get to finish, and Russell goes and rips the guy's head right off. It's like, well, he's done. Let's get on with drinking Lilith's blood. So they're all going to drink Lilith's blood. No one's not going to do it now because Russell's been pulling heads off people. So now everybody's like, yeah, sure, I'm into it. Let me drink the blood. And Bill and Eric are pretty convinced that if they drink this blood, nothing's going to happen to them because it's just vampire blood, whatever. But they trip out. Next thing you know, it's like slow-mo walking down New Orleans streets, getting beads, wearing sunglasses, and just letting the fangs hang out. It was a pretty trippy scene and very hilarious. But Lilith's V obviously is a big problem. Back to Tara and Pam for a brief second. Tara and Pam share some hugs. You know, in 100 years, you won't care about your mother, says Pam. Yeah, true. Terry gives her a hug. That's enough of that. Pam doesn't like too much love. Lafayette gets his mouth sewn shut, and he's attached to the chair, and the guy is gonna hack into his brain, feed the blood to his pregnant girlfriend wife who's having another baby, and that baby will then become the demony creature. The wife has other plans. She gets up and stabs to death that guy, and Lafayette gets to go free. Well, she undoes his mouth anyway, so I'm assuming he gets to go free. And that's the last we see of Lafayette for tonight. JD, however, is telling all the werewolves that the vampire told him that the end of days is coming, where vamps and humans will fight. And if you want to survive, you should drink this vamp's blood and work with him. And then he goes and offers it to Emma, who's 8 years old. Martha shows up, and she's like, "That's my granddaughter, JD, you liar!" So now she knows Elsie was right. And that's the end we see of the pack for that evening. The Obama crew has a surprise for Hoyt. I believe it's probably to kill Jessica. Although Jessica can't die because she's super good looking. So there's no way that's going to happen. Meanwhile, Sam is kicked out of the hospital because he's 2 hours over visiting time, but he smells a funny orderly. And it turns out it's one of the Obama guys. That's where we leave Sam, as he takes down that guy. Russell and the V-trippin' vampires end up in a bar where they start draining everybody in sight. And that's when a drop of blood lands, and Lilith comes out of the stage. And we see Lilith doesn't like to wear clothes and likes to breathe her essence into people. But just as she is doing that, and Eric's completely tripping, Godric shows up in a ghosty form and tells him, "Eric, you know this is wrong. Nora doesn't. You have to help Nora." So hopefully Eric will come to his senses and stop slaughtering people and get rid of Lilith. Terry and Patrick, the only story they had tonight was Elfride showed up and laughed at them. It was kind of interesting. And Terry tried to kill himself, but he didn't. Then the ending was a Jessica, Sookie, Jason kind of thing. Jason shows up to see Jessica. She's feeding on someone. He tells her about his parents. Then Jessica gets mad at him. Jason gets mad at her. Because Jason realizes when they kiss that there's somebody she's feeding on. He gets really mad. Jessica starts to bite him. He shoots her in the head, and then her guards come and kick him out. And just as he's kicked out, he sees flashes upon flashes because Sookie is trying to drain herself of her fairy light so she can be human again. And Jason's like, "What?" And he runs to the light. So we'll see what happens there. And that's pretty much it. What do I think's going to happen? I hope Eric gets her with Lilith. I'm tired of Lilith. Sookie has to say Faye. I love that Faye part of her. And what else do I think's going to happen? Maybe Bud is that guy, the dragon. And watch out, Jessica. I think you're next on the Obama crew hit. I really hope it's not you. You're not going down without a fight. Anyway, that's all for tonight. Thanks for watching.